A very good evening to you. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Let me give you a quick rundown of what to expect today on the show. As we speak, matches in the UEFA Champions League currently going on. One game concluded and some already on the way. We're going to be talking about that for your viewing pleasure tonight. Also, we will give you a slice of handball. The Handball Premier League currently going on. Match day 4 results we get of Stockade. There's also going to be the fixtures for the next set of matches. We're also going to be looking at the AFCON qualifiers, the preparations with regards to the venue that will be used. We're talking about that on the show as well. I also have some tidbits for you on the show tonight. But first, let me just pause a little. That's the outlook of the show today. Let me pause and quickly introduce my partner. At some point also, I expect to be joined by some key stakeholders involved in the Handball Premier League, but I won't let the cat out of the bag just yet. But at some point, we'll be going to Abuja and talking to some of the guys involved in the Handball Premier League. So just hold on for that. But let me quickly introduce Ikenna Okechukwendu. He joins me on the show. We're going to be together from start to finish. Ikenna, it's been a while.
It's been a long
it's good to have
while.
you with us.
Thank you very much. Proud and happy to be here.
Yep.
We made it.
All right. Yeah, we did. We did. You know, sports had to take a back seat because of all of the things happening, not just in Nigeria, across the globe.
It was massive.
Yeah.
It disrupted everything we've known ever. We've not experienced anything like this in our life.
Hopefully we don't get to see anything like this
not
again. And even though the other parts of the world are still experiencing lockdowns.
The second wave is beginning to take
But there's some sort of reprieve for us in this part.
Exactly.
And hopefully that will continue.
The way we handled it, the government did that. I want to give them kudos
for the way they've handled it.
They handled it and everything they did.
All right. Before we, Handball Premier League is currently going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed that.
I've been following.
Okay. So, but before we get to that, let's quickly take out of the way some tidbits, piece of information that we need to quickly give out to the viewers, and also maybe later on the show when we're about to wrap up, we'll discuss those things in detail. But let's quickly put out some things out there for you. Let's start with the UEFA Champions League. One game already concluded. Atletico Madrid and the Russian side played a 1-1 draw. That game concluded in the UEFA Champions League. We'll talk about that for you. That's it on your screen. Atletico Madrid and Lokomotiv Moscow played a 1-1 draw. And the other matches, there you also have Borussia Mönchengladbach hitting Shakhtar Donetsk in Kiev. 6 goals. I lost interest when it was 4.
Yeah, at halftime it was 4.
I lost interest, and
I don't know what's happened to Shakhtar. They defeated Real Madrid 3-2 in Madrid. They lost to they played they're in the same group with Inter, right? So they played the same group with Inter. They played a goalless draw, and now they're losing to Mönchengladbach. Something must have gone wrong.
Something definitely did go wrong. We'll talk about all of that later on the show, and you have some other matches right there. Okay, let's go to handball. Maybe we'll save the tidbits for later. Then let's go to handball. Match day 4 results is what you have on your screen. Let's start with the guys. Ikenna. 70 shooters defeated Lagos Seasiders 25 points to 23. You have Confluence Stars losing 24 points to 28 up against Plateau Vipers. You have the Defenders. They defeated Niger United 28 points to 23. You have Kano Pillars.
The defending champions.
Kano Pillars defeating Borno Spiders 30 points to 23. You have Carter Stars beating Delta Force 28 to 21. Those are in the men's category. Let's go to the ladies quickly. Just one game played in that one, and that's it on your screen. You have Benue Queens defeating Desert Queens 28 points to 17. So that's it for the ladies. Very interesting things going on in the Handball Premier League. Before we go to match day 5 fixtures, Ikenna, let me get your thoughts. You probably you've seen the pictures
I've seen the
on our
pictures.
screen.
I've been following them.
Your impression?
Yeah. It's going to be tough because this is what we've been talking about. Because, like I said, I've said it many times in this program, the emphasis has always been on football.
Yep.
But now we see the Handball Federation doing something for the handball teams. And there's consistency. This is the 4th edition, if I'm not wrong. So they are in Abuja. They are doing all they can. And the people, there are some in the men's category, they are trying to take away the title from Kano Pillars. They are the defending champions. So it's going to be tough. We're going to see a lot of excitement. But there are rooms for improvement.
Yep.
But at least the games are on. And considering what we've gone through this year, the COVID, the lockdowns and everything, considering what we've gone through, they still tried and made the tournament happen. So
yeah. Kudos
to them. Kudos to them.
All right. So that's good to hear. Let's take a look at match day 5 fixtures for the men and women. Let's quickly look at it. We've seen the results for match day 4 matches played today. So let's take a look at the fixtures quickly if we can. There you have it. Rima Strikers will be up against, in the men's category, we'll be up against Confluence Stars, Delta Force up against Chief of Army Staff Shooters. You have Kada Stars will be up against Bornu Spiders. Niger United up against Safety Shooters. All of this in the men's category. Then we quickly move over to the ladies, where there will also be fixtures on match day 5. Benue Queens up against Imo Grasshoppers. Kada Queens up against Safety Babes. Defender Babes up against Plateau Peacocks. Plateau Peacocks, probably the only one not Babes and not Queens. Okay, maybe Imo Grasshoppers as well. Imo Grasshoppers, but a lot of Babes and Queens in there. So it's going to be very, very interesting. All right, let's now go to our Abuja studio and, of course, link up with 2 very special people waiting to talk to us. We have the coach of Plateau Vipers, that's Abdulkadir Yusuf, in there as well. We also have a board member of the Handball Federation, Joseph Udale. I want to welcome you guys, and also thank you for taking our time to speak with us tonight. But first, I want to get the thoughts of the board member, Joseph Udale. I want you to quickly talk to us. It's a remarkable feat, Handball Federation being the first to resume after the lockdown restrictions were lifted. Can you quickly tell us what went on behind the scenes, how you guys were able to pull this off?
Thank you very much. Good evening. We are very glad that this competition is happening, and to us, it's a great achievement. The pandemic brought a lot of challenges all over the world, and we as a federation, the president of the federation and the board members, we try to be proactive to see how we can quickly, at all costs, make this championship happen. While we're putting plans to see how this championship could happen, we looked at possibilities, looking at the guidelines of the easing of the lockdown, and we anticipated that plus minus before the end of November, all things being equal, we could get it started. And we're thinking along that line, and as we have it, our championship was approved even before the contact sport restriction was lifted, which was good for us as a federation. And when we were to start it, it was to start on the 7th. Then we had a challenge of the NSAS protest. So we have to quickly look at it again and extend the championship by 1 week. And within that time, we believe everything will be eased. And to God be the glory, it went that way. And thank God, the championship is on. And we are glad about that.
All right, let me also ask you, I'm going to go to the coach later on, but I also have another question for you. Your thoughts, your impression about what you've seen so far. Of course, taking a look at the games, the quality of the games, quality of the players, quality of the organization, and try not to blow your own trumpet as well. But looking at all of that, your impression.
Yeah, we are happy. One, we must be grateful to the government of the federation for lifting the contact sport restriction, and we must also thank the Ministry of Youth and Sport Development for their effort to see that we get this approval for this championship. And most especially, we are grateful to the sponsors, the Prudent Energy Limited, Prudent Energy Services Limited. They have been wonderful, partners in this handball league. And as the league has just started, we are experiencing a lot of upset here and there. Bigger teams are losing. You can't imagine Bruno Spider defeating Lagos yesterday. It was like a very huge upset. Some of those teams, Plateau, also lost to Delta Force, who just came from Division 1 to the Premier. A lot of upset. So as it stands, I believe the quality of play is very, very impressive. And everybody, the teams, the officials, are adhering to the protocols and the guideline of the presented task force on COVID-19, which for us, the championship is a huge success, and we give glory to God for everything.
Okay. All right, let me go to the coach now. Coach, let's talk about your team. And that was talking about Plateau Vipers now. And, tell us what you feel. You've played a couple of games, and how do you assess your performance so far?
Yes, good night, and thank you for receiving. A female team of Plateau. And we are doing well because this COVID has drawn everything back. And when we had the information that we are resuming, we quickly go to our drawing board and start doing things. And as we have it, grateful to Almighty God and the government and the sponsors, we quickly swing to action and we get to where we are now. We are not at our best yet, but then it's work in progress. But right now, the competition just started. We've played just 2 matches, won 1 and we lost 1. So we still have like 7 more matches to play. So it's very, very early to decide or to say this is where the competition is going to swing to. But right now, we're working towards getting to.
All right.
To get to our feet.
Okay, that's good to hear. But after playing 2 matches and you've seen other teams, and how far do you think your team will go? I'm talking about Plateau Vipers now. You've seen everybody play. You're all in one location. You've lost 1, you've won 1. And I'm very sure before you came into this tournament, there probably was a target. But now that you've been able to see everybody, how far do you think your own team can go?
Yes, we're really going to go far. I know we're going to go far. It's a league. Everybody plays everybody. So we are going to play. It's a round robin team. Mm-hmm. So we're still going to meet each other around. And last year, we came 3rd. And the year before last, we won the cup, the first edition. So right now, we know, by the grace of God, we are going to end up in the podium.
Okay, that's very ambitious. Okay, let me go back to Mr. Udali, the board member of the Handball Federation. Let me just quickly go back to him and ask him. This 2020, a lot of people are already wishing that 2020 will be over. A lot of people felt most of their plans and agenda in 2020 has been truncated by COVID-19. But for handball, you've been able to at least stage, the league. And so I'm going to ask that, apart from this league, is there any other competition? Is there any other grassroots competition, apart from the league, which is the main one? Is there any grassroots competition or any of your activities that still falls into the 2020 calendar?
Yes, like we all know, in February, we had our under-12 and under-15 championship in Sokoto. That was our very first tournament in the year 2020. And we have a lot of activities lined up before the COVID. So we did our under-12 and 15 championship in Sokoto, which was a success. And now we are having the Premier League, the Prudent Energy Premier League here in Abuja now at this time. we were supposed to have a championship for under 18 and 20 for the World Cup qualifiers in Morocco. But unfortunately, that was postponed. Also, there was a club championship that was supposed to be held also by the Confederation of African Handball. It was also postponed again indefinitely. So until we get new dates, I'm not certain we could have any other championship, except maybe for the festival, which we are hoping to see if something will be done concerning the date. And as soon as we get the date, if it is within the year 2020, of course, we will have another championship, which will be the festival.
Okay, all right, that's also good to hear. Let me also take it a step further and ask you about the growth of the game. You know, as a member of the federation, definitely you will be concerned about the growth of the game in Nigeria. So you've been in there for a while. So in terms of measurements, how would you rate the growth of the game? I'm not asking you to measure it against football. Football, it's on its own, it's the world of its own. But in comparison to other sports, how do you think handball measures up in Nigeria?
Honestly, it's a wonderful question. And, you know, when we want to go back to history, in 1992 in the Olympics in Barcelona, handball was the first ball game to ever qualify in an Olympic championship for this country. But things began to change. Things began to fall apart because there were a lot of challenges, things that has to do with funding and leadership issues, and we went down. Now, this board came up with the leadership of our president, Mr. Sam Ocheo, and the board members. We have been very, very, very active, trying to see how we can quickly bring back handball to that level, to that peak that it has been. And by the grace of God, since we came on board, we'll be able to attain a very, very huge height. After 33 years, we now qualified again for the Junior World Cup, which we attended in the under 18 and in under 20. We had one in Macedonia and we had another one in Spain. So we were able to do that with the effort of the president and the board members and other stakeholders who were able to assist in one way or the other to get this thing, you know, to become a success for us. Our teams attended those championships. And again, just this year, our national team, the senior male team, was in the, the Nations Cup. And we went there in Tunis. We did our camping. We did the training tour in Tunis before the championship. So even though the team, we are trying to build a new team, but there's huge prospect, and we are believing that we'll continue what we are doing. That the program we're doing is yielding results. We'll work in that direction, and by the grace of God, handball will be back again. And we also want to say that there should be, you know, a lot of effort. All our hands must be on decks to see how we can attract sponsors, more sponsors into this game of handball, so that it can be a sport in Nigeria which will be an opportunity to take away a lot of youth who are into all these social vices and all of things off the street. We'll bring them into handball and jettison them alongside education. I think we'll be good to go.
Okay, all right. So let me go to Coach Abdul Kadir, and let me also ask you, we're about to go on a break, and probably this might be the last question to you before I let you guys go. Coach, I want to ask you how it feels to be playing in this era, how it feels to be playing handball in an era where you have to observe all the safety protocols. How does it feel? Is there a difference, or you just go about what you do the normal way, or knowing that you have to observe all those protocols makes it feel a bit different?
It's really tough. It's really tough, I can say. But then, with the measures the federation put in place, we find it very, very easy because, one, they provided us with face masks and sanitizers and the sitting arrangement in the hall. Even if your team is you are on standby to play, you don't sit together. You give more than 3 meters of sitting arrangement within you and your players. Everybody sits far from each other. And when you are coming to the game, it's not like before that you go to shake hands. When they line you in, as the referees finish their inspection, you go on, you start immediately like that. So you see, with all those measures, it makes it very, very okay. But then it's an alien thing to us. We are not used to it. But then there's nothing we can do. And we're so happy for them. We're so happy for them because a lot of people have trauma already. With this tournament, it has taken a lot of trauma out of our athletes for close to 6, 7 months, 8 months. You have not done anything, what you are used to doing every day, and you come to do it now. It's a great relief to us, and we are so happy about it. This is the best thing that has happened to Handball family. And if you can see, you see every team before you come, there's this COVID-19 test. For me, I don't think I have any thought to go and do anything. But because of this, I want to attend, we want to play. Myself and all the players had to go for tests. And if you look at it, we have more than 22 clubs and more than 50 athletes go to test because you have to make your 16th team out of it. So you see, most of us know our status now as per COVID. And we are so proud, and we'll maintain the safety measures, because right now all of us know that we are certified and we are okay.
Okay. I wish we had more time, but that's where we have to leave it. But first, I want to thank both of you, Coach Abdulkadir Yusuf, coach of Plateau Vipers, and of course, Joseph Udale, board member of the Handball Federation. I want to thank you for your time on the show today. Hopefully, we'll get to do this some other time. So thank you very much. We'll be speaking to some stakeholders, like I said, in Handball, as the Handball Premier League currently going on in Abuja. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, there's a lot to talk about. The UEFA Champions League news making the round. Talk about Diego Maradona. Talk about Ryan Giggs and also Alexander Povetkin. All of them. What's happening to those guys? You need to know. Stay tuned. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return, we'll talk about those things. Welcome back. Well, Iken is still with me, and let's quickly take a look at what is happening in Europe. A lot of goals have been scored. So, Iken, let's just take a look at the results. It's going to come up on your screen now and talk about all of this. Lokomotiv Moscow and Atletico already concluded. It's ended 1-1. RB Salzburg and Bayern Munich currently.
That's a good result. If it ends this way, that's a good result.
It won't end this way, but it's not going to end this way. 1 goal apiece for this one. Shakhtar Donetsk, Borussia Mönchengladbach. Wow. That has ended as well. Borussia Mönchengladbach 6-0 hammered their Ukrainian opponents. Real Madrid and Inter, this should have been the pick of the pack, but unfortunately for these two teams, they are third and fourth in their group.
It's incredible what's happening to Inter Milan. They should, because Conte has been supported. Yeah. When he wanted to be supported, he was supported.
He's got all the support.
He got all the support. He got all the players he wanted. I don't know what they've not won a game. This is the third draw.
But it's likely not going to end this way because both teams know they need to win. So, all right, let's see some other results. All of these matches, apart from the two that have been concluded, slide. FC Porto, Olympique Marseille. Porto currently leads by a goal. Right there in Portugal. Manchester City, no problems at all in the UEFA Champions League.
No. But problems in
the Premier League. But in the Champions League, no problems at all. Up against Olympiacos, they lead by a goal. And Atalanta and Liverpool, a lot of people said there's going to be fireworks in this game. I'm not surprised. I'm already seeing
Atlanta.
A goal.
They're having issues already. Atlanta, maybe they have.
You think they may not get to the heights of last season?
They might not get to the heights of last season. They're experiencing a slump in the Serie A.
Okay.
They just won their first game out of 3 in the last week, and playing Liverpool today is a big task. So they might not, but they're punching above their weight. We all know already.
Mixing it with the big. Then the story of the night has got to be Ajax.
Yes.
11 players testing positive. Most of their regulars.
They went with 15 players. Only 1 goalkeeper.
I mean, a squad. I think they went with a squad of 17.
17, yes.
They currently, if they win this game,
it's a massive achievement
against Midtjylland. It's going to be the story of the night.
Yeah.
As it stands, Ajax leads 2-1. And we're going to keep monitoring those matches for you, just in case you're not seeing those games. We'll give you updates as they come. Like I said, I think the Ajax game probably going to be the story of the night if it stays that way.
So. And away from home, too.
And away from home too, they're playing against Midtjylland right there in Denmark.
Denmark, yeah.
So that's it. And Midtjylland, they're no small fry. I think they're currently second in the Danish league.
And one thing we know about them is the Nigerian connection. They had Paul Anuacha at a point. They have Frank Onyeka currently. So they have been in and out of Champions League in the last few years. So they can call them regulars now. Though they're not up to that standard, that level of Ajax.
So it's no small achievement.
No, it's not.
If Ajax beats them,
no, it's not.
With all of those players.
No, it's not because considering what Ajax is going through at the moment currently. So it's a wonderful achievement.
If they're able
to get that result,
to get it done,
and who knows, they might score under one.
Oh. You never can tell. You never can tell. All right. Okay, so let's talk about what's happening. Let's start from home. I told you we have some information on some sporting stars. But let's start from the one that involves Nigeria. Let's start with golf and talk about Nigeria's teenage golf sensation, Georgia Obo. She'll shift our attention to the Aramco Saudi Ladies International, which will tee off in Saudi Arabia for the first time starting on November the 12th. Georgia has played a total of 8 events since. That's after the lockdown, starting with the Scottish Ladies Open. She also played in the Czech Ladies Open near Prague. And she sees the tournament as another opportunity to improve her play. Now, this Saudi Ladies Golf Tournament is the biggest prize purse outside of the major events and the Scottish Ladies Open. Georgia Obo says to play in the inaugural event is just the best feeling this year, and she's looking forward to the challenge. It's inaugural edition. Georgia Obo, I mean, blazing the trail. I'm always happy when I get the chance to talk about this teenage golf sensation, putting Nigeria on the map for all the right reasons in a sport, you know, that we're not known for, and usually dominated by men. And she's holding her own. It's something we have to be proud of. I know the wins will come.
It will come. And one thing is quite surprising that we've not made any impact in this field, because we have golf clubs all over the country.
We see it as a leisure
and for elitist game.
That's a problem.
Yeah,
that's
she's going to inspire a lot of people.
Yes,
just like what Venus and her sister Serena did for the
and what Tiger Woods did.
She's going to inspire a lot of people. Now a young lady, a young man can know that I can play golf.
Yeah.
I can make
no restrictions. I can play.
Yeah, and go international.
Yeah.
You understand? She has this is the 8th tournament.
Make
a living from it. So it's inspired. When I saw the story on social media, I was so happy. You know, so I saw the interview and everything. I was so happy for her. I'm so happy for the effort she's making to make sure that it's not about participation. It's also about getting that prize money, winning that tournament, and moving on to other tournaments. So great one for Nigeria.
All right. So we'll be, you know, of course, our hearts and mouths. We'll be, you know, hoping that she gets to do well. November 12th is when the tournament starts. And of course, hearts and minds with Georgia Obo, hoping that she gets to do well right there in Saudi Arabia. If there's any other updates with regards to Georgia, we'll let you know. Let's talk about one football icon, one player, arguably the best player ever to kick the round ladder. It's even very difficult for FIFA to say who the best player ever is. They made this man share the award with Pelé. I'm talking about Diego Maradona is going to undergo surgery. We hear that he's going to have, there's a blood clot in his brain. 2 days ago, we were here celebrating Maradona at 60.
Yeah.
And now, terrible news. First, that he was hospitalized. The doctors quickly point out that, look, it's not COVID-19. Yeah. It doesn't have a stroke. So rule out all of those issues. But we hear that the procedure will be taking place any moment now. That his doctors say he actually needs it because he has blood clot in his brain. He currently coaches Gymnasia.
Yeah, Gymnasia.
And I mean, there's been an outpouring of emotion with regards to what has happened to. You can see
Gymnasia.
The supporters of the club.
This is permit me to say, in Argentina, he's regarded as a god.
Yeah,
he has his own church. People worship him. He's an icon. We still need Maradona. You remember 2010 World Cup when Maradona was the coach of Argentina. Every media outlet they had Maradona Day. Every day was Maradona Day. What's he doing? What's he saying? How is he coaching the team? How's he moving on? Even after Argentina left at the quarterfinals, there was still reports of Maradona where he went to Cuba and the rest of it. So the football still needs Maradona. Football needs his contribution. Football still needs his criticism.
Yeah.
He's always at loggerheads with FIFA.
Yeah.
All the time. So we are praying for him. We still need him. We want to.
He's too young. He's too young to go.
Just 60. He's just 60. Pele is 80. He's just 60. The football still needs Maradona. Really. And he's talking about coming back to coach Argentina.
Yeah.
Talks about that. Yeah.
A lot of people want him around because, you know, but look, it must be said, he has not helped himself with some of the choices that he has made, some of the decisions.
Remember the match against Argentina, Nigeria-Argentina, the last World Cup?
Yeah.
They say he was actually drunk on that day.
Mm-hmm.
So there are things he does on his own that is not...
You look at his size.
His size and everything, there's things he does on his own that's not helping matters.
He had lung problems. It's been one problem after the other.
Yeah.
There was the time it was substance abuse.
Yes, yeah.
You know,
so,
there was a time he had issues with alcohol.
Alcohol, yes.
You know, so it's, you know...
In fact, on that match day, he had a heart attack.
Yeah, because he had too much to drink, you know. And, you know, looking at how frail Maradona looks, it's going to be very difficult, you know, to tell somebody who was not born in our generation to say at some point this was the best football player. It's going to be very difficult to tell somebody that this guy did amazing things with the round leather.
He just unlike these days, everything's at your fingertip. Those days, the footages are just spread.
You have to be very exceptional to grab the headlines. And Maradona was a genius. And, you know, let me share one of my Maradona moments, Italia 90.
Okay.
Even though Cameroon was responsible for us not qualifying, you know, I was supporting them because they are my African brothers. And just a few moments before the game, if you remember, Maradona comes out, everybody filed out, and he started juggling the ball. Even just seeing him juggle the ball, sending shivers down my spine, all of the things he could do, not even in the game, just with the ball. And he was that good.
Two things people argue about the new Cristiano Ronaldo and the Messi. I keep saying one thing. Why I keep Maradona heads and shoulders above all the two
at that level.
One, he took Argentina single-handedly to win that World Cup.
On his own shoulder.
On his shoulders. No doubt about that. Nobody can argue that. Two, he went to Napoli. It wasn't Juventus. It wasn't AC Milan.
It wasn't Inter.
It wasn't Inter. He went to Napoli, signed the players he wanted, gave the team this. I want Zola. I want Careca. I want this. He signed those players and got them the UEFA Cup and got them the Italia Serie A. Those are you cannot dispute those moments. Those are genius moments. So we know that he had a drug problem and so many other things he did. But Maradona, on the field of play, he was a pure genius. Kanija said something in 1990, the 1990 World Cup he was talking about. After that game against Cameroon, they said, "Oh, it's like you are the defending champions. It's like you guys are not going to make it far." He said, "As long as we have Maradona,
we're going
far." And that was exactly what happened when they played Brazil and in the second round.
Just one pass.
Just one pass.
From Diego Maradona, even though he was absent in that game, one pass to Caniggia, and they defeated. So Brazil at that time was seen as ffavorites.
So the football at this moment
still needs him.
We need Maradona. If not for anything, the criticism, the way he's citing FIFA and their rules, we still enjoy him.
So we hope that the brain surgery is successful.
We hope so.
And that nothing is damaged, and it will come back to his normal self. He's had to deal with a lot, and we sympathize with him.
Yes, we
sympathize with his family. Even his daughter, you know, said some things on social media.
They were the one that married
Aguero. You know, said it's heartbreaking to see our father go through all of the things he's currently going through.
In Boca Juniors, they worship him.
They worship him.
They worship him.
It's true. It's true. All right, let's talk about Ryan Giggs. Let's talk about Ryan Giggs, the Wales manager, and not a good story. Over the weekend, he was arrested. He's been released on bail. There's been accusation of assault, and that's what's in the news. A lot of angles to the story, but let's start with the Wales angle. The Football Federation of Wales have put it out that Ryan Giggs will not be in charge of the senior national team in the next 3 matches. They've put it out. Of course, they say they still support their man. The investigation currently going on. All of those things are allegations. There are accusations until it is proven that he did those things. Even though there are reports on the media circulating that he assaulted his girlfriend, some neighbors saw some things, policemen were called to the scene. There are all of those things. But what we can say from the football angle is that his assistant will be in charge for the next 3 games. But serious dent on the image of Ryan Giggs.
From where we are sitting is alleged.
Yeah, from where we're sitting is alleged. But it's still a dent on his image.
It's a dent on his image. And I can say, I might be wrong, but I can say that he's already on his way out.
Already on his way out, yeah.
Those 3 matches, for them to sort out themselves, it might be a distraction. Because after this, he's been released now, there will be court cases, there will be investigations, and it will distract the team.
Yeah.
And
if he doesn't get a speedy acquittal, I don't see him back.
It's going to
and it's going to be very difficult to get a speedy with all of the things we are reading.
Yeah.
But I want to correct myself.
And also his reputation precedes him.
Precedes him, yes. But I want to say, I want to take caution, just like you said, from where we sit. There are just accusations from where we sit, even though a lot is circulating on social media right now. But from where we sit, doing our job, what we can say is that for now, is alleged and temporarily is stepped aside. His assistant takes charge of the Wales national team. Then we'll see. But the big question is, will he be able to come back from this?
I don't think so. This is Ikenna saying, Ikenna talking. I don't think he's going to come back because they are going to ease him out. It's going to be so much. In fact, he might even resign.
He might
even resign because
that will be the honourable part.
Yes,
so that it doesn't get because the information put out is that Ryan Giggs and the Football Association of Wales, they have agreed mutually that he will not be involved in the next set of matches involving Wales. But it's a big blow for someone who's beginning his career. We're beginning to read that if he does well with Wales, he might be the next Manchester United manager and all that.
He was one of those people I used to understand how the international system works, because seeing him at Manchester United in those 90s, I was wondering why he couldn't play for England. Yeah. So I don't know he actually played for schoolboys in England. So I was always watching, even though we couldn't see all the games on TV.
But the ones we saw,
I was always following Wales to see whether they will qualify. I wanted to see him at one major competition. Now he couldn't make it. Now he's coming as a coach, and this has happened. It's a sad one. It's a sad one.
All right.
And considering what Wales has gone through in terms of managerial, Gary Speed, what happened to him, committed suicide and everything. So is something they don't want that publicity around
when
the team.
When he came in to replace Coleman, it was hugely celebrated.
Yes.
There's going to be a change.
Yes.
A lot of people say there's a golden generation of Wales players that include Gary Bill.
And he did well. And he's done well, actually.
Yeah, okay, some updates from the UEFA Champions League. Let's give that to you. Real Madrid and Inter Milan. We always knew there was going to be goals in this game. There were surely going to be goals in this game because Real Madrid would not be content sitting in third or fourth. Definitely not. And they know that if they dispatch Inter,
they have a chance.
They have a chance. If they're playing Inter third and fourth game.
Mönchengladbach has done themselves a word of favour.
Yes.
They've done themselves a word of favour. This is their 5th point. So at least if they can beat Shakhtar in the return leg, they are in a very comfortable position. Now, the
because
second position,
Inter and Real will definitely cancel each other
yes.
out. And it makes the part, I agree with you, it makes the part easier for Borussia Mönchengladbach,
yeah.
especially if you consider that they were almost beating Real Madrid.
Yes. Even Inter scored at the last minute in San Siro.
Mönchengladbach is looking good for Mönchengladbach in that group. Let's see some of the results from live matches in the UEFA Champions League. For FC Porto, it's 2 now, 2-0 over Marseille. Well, I thought Andres Villas-Boas with Marseille, something was going to happen, some sort of rejuvenation, but it's not happening.
It's the first time in a long while.
A long while.
Yeah,
it's been to China, it's been to Russia.
But at least what they needed was someone that can stabilize the team. He got them into the Champions League. They are in the Champions League now. So let's see how it goes. But I don't think they've not made any impact.
All right. Manchester City is still 1-0 for Liverpool. It's 2 now. It's 2 now. And the Reds, they're gradually running away. They're just gradually running away. And for Midtjylland and Ajax, it's still 2-1. It's still 2-1, and still still time. A lot of things could still happen.
It's good in the last 3 years to see Ajax back again. At least make that impact in Europe and get their players. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it. All right. So we need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, we'll look at tomorrow's matches. We'll also give you the updates with regards to Povetkin, what has happened to him, and a whole lot more for you on Sports Tonight. All right, welcome back. We're on the home stretch now. Let's give you a slice of boxing before we go to football and talk about the NFF. Alexander Povetkin has tested positive for COVID-19. As a result of that, his rematch with Dillian White has been postponed. And because of that piece of news, the dominoes are beginning to fall. A lot of information. Eddie is saying, look, since you're not going to fight, since this fight is not going to happen, Tyson Fury, why not just fight Dillian? Then David Hayes steps up and says, you know what? Why not we have Derek Chisora fight Dillian White?
But Chisora just came out of a fight, which he lost to Youssef. So I think, but this guy's camp, the guy Dante Wilder, is saying that they really want to get that third
trilogy,
match, their trilogy
with
Tyson Fury. So
Tyson Fury has also named another person for his own coming fight. So it's I don't know.
I wanted to see this Povetkin and
the rematch.
Yeah, the rematch.
It will have been interesting.
I wanted to see that match.
All right, so it's a blow to Dillian White. Dillian White was on his way to challenging Tyson Fury, to become the mandatory challenger. And if this fight doesn't happen, it frees Tyson Fury. Although there's the contractual issue about Deontay Wilder. I mean, this
but Deontay Wilder is now putting accusations on what happened in the second match, which is going to it might end up in a legal battle.
It might
end up in a legal battle.
Well, many angles to this, and trust us, if there's any update, we'll let you know. But the Povetkin situation has brought up a lot of scenarios which makes heavyweight boxing very, very interesting. And that's why we love boxing anyway. All right, so let's go on now and talk about the Nigerian Football Federation and the inspection of the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. That's no longer news. But NFF President Amaji Pinnick, he's been talking, and he's looking at the possibility of having fans at the stadium when Nigeria takes on Sierra Leone. Before I say anything, let's just hear him in his own words mute that idea of having fans present when Nigeria plays Sierra Leone. Let's get to hear him on that first.
We're also working because there have been a lot of, about crowd coming into the stadium. We have to observe the protocol to the latter, The first thing is what they have done. Now, they've written to us officially saying that they want, this is a 15,000 seating capacity stadium. They want about 6,000, 7,000, where they will space out, don't sit, don't sit, So we're going to look at it. We'll send a letter to the ministry and also send a letter to the presidential task force. Once we get the approval within the next 2 days, I've already spoken to CAF. We send a representative of CAF, and I believe it will, because I would want a situation whereby let people start seeing decent crowd in a stadium. in a very competitive game in Edo State. So I really want to thank you and say that we'll be here full. I'll be here myself because, like I said, it's very critical. These are very sensitive times. We want to minimize, reduce every mistake humanly and materially possible in ensuring that we have a success.
All right, NFF President Amajibini. Iken, I'm not going to allow you to speak now. It looks like there's a gray area. Some people are already saying, are we not on a collision course? All right, so let's listen. When the PTF lifted the restriction on contact sports, there was something that was said. So let's also listen to that and balance both statements and see if there are gray areas, if there's got to be a collision cause, or if it is workable. Let's listen to what the PTF had to say on the day the restrictions were lifted.
The lifting of restriction on outdoor sporting activities, including football, is in line with earlier consultations with the Federal Ministry of Youth, Sports Development, and the NCDC. However, this is limited to the actual sports itself, not with mass gatherings. So in this regard, mass gatherings, including at sports events, is still restricted, as these represent an opportunity for the virus to spread with an increased risk of a second wave.
All right, so that's the Presidential Task Force saying mass gatherings still restricted. So we'll see what happens. The NFF president has said, look, we're talking to them, we're seeing, but the last we heard and what we know is that as it stands, there's still a ban on mass gatherings. But what's your take?
You know, in the law court, what they use is precedence.
Yeah.
What everyone, especially us in the sporting world, is the Edo elections, or the what's it called, the rallies they did. There was huge crowds.
Huge crowds, okay.
And this is just like a month ago.
All right.
So then the same Bini, and they are going to have this game. But what the NFF is saying is maybe they will have a quarter of the capacity. Maybe if the capacity is 20,000.
A third? Maybe a third.
A quarter. But a situation where the Benin fans have not seen the Super Eagles in ages, I'm wondering what's going to happen.
How you're going to restrict it in the first place, which is going to be difficult.
Could have, if they still have time.
You seem not, wait, let me understand. You seem not to have a problem with the fans coming. But your problem is, once you open that gate, it's going to be full.
It's going to be full. It's going to be full. Unless they do by invitation only.
Okay, what about when they get to have the meeting with Presidential Task Force on COVID? Do you think they're going to get that all clear signal to...
They will.
Oh.
They will.
Okay.
They will get... They will.
Okay.
Using the rally as a president, they will.
Okay. I'm going to stay off this. I'm just going to stay off this. All right, we'll see what happens with that one. But quickly, let's show you in the UEFA Champions League. We'll leave it at that. Hopefully, issues will sort themselves out, and we'll tell you whatever is coming out of it. Let's quickly take a look at games in the UEFA Champions League to see if there's any update. Last time we checked, and Real Madrid, Inter Milan is 2-2-1. Bayern Munich and RB Salzburg, Bayern currently leading, is 2-1 now. I knew it wasn't going to remain like this. I know it wasn't going to. The other matches, also, let's see if anything has changed. So tomorrow's fixtures, let me run through them. Chelsea up against Rennes, Sevilla up against Krasnodar, Zenit Petersburg up against Lazio, Club Brugge up against Borussia Dortmund. All of these matches will play tomorrow. Barcelona up against Dinamo Kiev, Ferencváros up against Juventus. Istanbul Başakşehir will take on Manchester United. RB Leipzig will take on French moneybags PSG. These are the matches for tomorrow, and that's how the cookie crumbles. That's a wrap on the show. But first, I want to thank Ikena for his time on the show today.
It's a pleasure. I'm always happy to be here.
Okay. We'll do this some other time then.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you as well for allowing us to be a part of your day. We enjoyed doing this. We're back here again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.